Today I have prepared a PDF, and mostly it is from the NCRT only. So you can just revise with the PDF, and also the link for this PDF will be given in the description. Okay, so let's get started. Indus Valley civilization is one of the ancient civilization of our subcontinent. And next, you can see how this area is here completely filled, and this is at a height, and this is in the lower portion. Okay, so here, while putting the railway lines, they have stumbled across Harappa, which is in present day Pakistan. So Britishers, while they were lying the railway line, they have seen Harappa, and which is in Pakistan. This was about the 80 years ago that archaeologists found a site. Okay, and this was called as the Harappan civilization because this city was found at Harappa. Okay, the cities developed about 4,700 years ago. This is the first civilization. So here is an important thing that it is divided into two parts. So the first part is this one, which is lower town, and the second part is this one called citadel. I'll show you. Okay, here you can clearly see this is the citadel, and this is the lower town. You can also see that the west was smaller but higher, and archaeologists describe this as a citadel. And generally, the part to the east was larger but lower. Obviously, the smaller one was on the top, and it was on the west part, and this is called as citadel. You can see this is the bigger one. This is the citadel, and this, which is at the lower part, was called as a lower town. So, what all we found here? What all were the important findings? The bricks were laid in an interlocking pattern. You know what is interlocking pattern? It's like one brick and the other brick is completely locked. Okay, so there is no proper, I mean, there is no malfunctioning here or any sort of discrepancy, and they were perfectly locked so that the walls were very, very strong. These cities were found in Punjab, Sindh, in Pakistan, and Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab. So you can see that it is in the northwestern part of the India. Okay, and it's also in Pakistan. So Harappan civilization was basically present in northwest India and Pakistan. Okay, archaeologists have found a set of unique objects. So there were very, very unique objects in that they were red pottery painted with designs. I have already shown you in this pic. This is the red pottery with designs. You can see a very articulate and beautiful designs here. Then there were the weights. You can see the weights were perfectly given here. Okay, and there were seals and special beads. Okay, the long stone beads. You can see that this kind of jewelry they used to wear. I mean, these all were found in the Punjab, Sindh, and Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab area. Okay, then comes to the very important one. This is called as a great bath. Okay, you can see how magnificent this is. You can see that in some cities special buildings were constructed on the citadel. So in some of the cities they have seen that the citadel, which I have already shown you, it has a very special thing, tank, which the archaeologists called the great bath. Okay, you can see this is the great bath here. You can see the great bath, and here you can see the side walls here. You can see, can you see that these are also some of the rooms here, and here also people can just go and change their clothes or something like that. Okay, this was lined with the bricks coated with plaster and made watertight. You can see that this is made watertight with a layer of natural tar. So they have put tar, and this became the watertight. That means there would be no leakage. Okay, there were two steps leading to the down from two sides, while there were rooms on all the sides. Okay, so all the sides there were rooms here, and here also you can see, and here it would be water present here. Okay, so this is the great bath that was discovered in Mohenjo-daro. So for what purpose they have used the great bath, that we don't know. Normally, the historians think that it was used for some ritual worship. Okay, you can understand that this was used for ritual worship, the great bath. Okay, So we'll go to the next slide. So he says that what are the other findings in the map? So Kalibangan and Lothar had fire altars. So this is very, very important. They'll ask in UPSC, they'll ask in various other examinations, what are the places which had fire altars? Okay, so you have to remember that Kalibangan, which is here, Kalibangan is here. You can see Kalibangan and Lothal. Lothal is also having a dockyard. You have to remember Lothal is having a dockyard. So Kalibangan and Lothal are having fire altars, and you have to see that some cities like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and Lothar had elaborate storehouses. So Lothal is also having a storehouse, which I'll tell you in the next slide. So now we'll see about the housing pattern, how the houses were there, the drainage system, and the street planning. Okay, generally houses were either one or two storied type of houses. You can see these houses are one storied, and here you can see that there are double storied buildings are there. Okay, some had wells to supply water. Many of these cities had covered drainage. So one of the basic and most important part of the Indus Valley civilization is the drainage system. The drainage system was very efficient. The drainage system was very efficient, and often you can see here that each house was connected to a drain. Okay, so each house has a drain, and all these drains of all houses, they used to connect to the main drain. You understood? You can see well here, all these were going into one big drain. So an intellectual and very efficient planning of the drainage system was present in the Indus Valley civilization. As the drains were covered, inspection holes were provided at intervals to clean them. You know that manholes type of things that were present for all the streets, so that they can clean anytime the drainage. Okay. Next, let us see how life of the city were there. So the rulers used to send people to various lands to get metal, precious stone, and the things they wanted. Okay, so what is here important for UPSC is that from which place, okay, from which place, what type of ornaments you are getting. This is very important. Like, from example, they used to get gold from one area, then they used to get precious stone from another area. Okay, you have to remember the metals as well as the places from where they are found. Okay, they used to bring. So I'll tell you in the next slides within the upcoming lecture. So here, what all they used to use? They used to use gold, and they used to use silver. They used to use beads. Okay, and they were scribes, people who knew to write. So this is how the seals used to be there. Seals, you can see this is the seal. There used to be an animal in all seal, and there is some kind of text you can see, but till now no one has been able to read the text, so it is not yet deciphered. Okay, you have to remember this. Nobody has still deciphered the seal or the writings of the Harappan civilization. Okay, besides, there were men and women craft persons making all kind of things either in their own homes or in special workshops. So terracotta toys. Why? This terracotta is a type of material. Okay, so you can see that these are the terracotta. These are the terracotta toys. So why these are important is because we didn't know, or by looking at these images only, we came to know that they are using plough, okay, to till the field. Then they are also using carts. Okay, so that is why terracotta is very, very important. Let's go to the next slide. So other craft, most of the things that have been found by archaeologists are made of stone, shell, and metal. So most of the things were either made of copper, bronze, gold, and silver. You have to remember that iron is nowhere here. A very, very important point, that iron we have not yet seen this. Okay, copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapon, and ornaments and vessels. So that we already know. Okay, gold and silver were used to make ornaments. So ornaments and vessels. So this that shows that they knew how to make or mold these metals. That means they were good in metallurgical engineering. The Harappans also use shields out of stones. You know that they are generally rectangle. I have already showed you that the shield was having an animal here and some letters here. Okay. Embroidered cloth, a stone statue of an important man. So this is the stone statue. It is also called as, see, priest king. Okay, they have asked in so many exams that this person is called as a priest king. I mean, they have given a name, and you can see that there is a sort of embroidery on the cloth and a fine structure of the beard here. Okay, so they are saying that cotton was probably grown at Mehergarh. We have already seen that Mehergarh was the early site. In the second lecture I have showed you about 7,000 years ago. Okay, so cotton was grown at Mehergarh. Actual pieces of cloth were found and attached to the lid of the silver vase of the Mohenjo-daro. So what they have found, that they have found some silverware in that silver vase. In that copper objects, they found that small cloth was struck to it. Actually, that cloth. So they have identified that cloth where they used to be worn at those times. Archaeologists have also found spindle whorls. Okay. So what is spindle whore? Spindle whore is actually, it will be like this. It is used in spinning the cloth. Okay. For spinning the cloth and for knitting and weaving, it is used. Okay. This is called spindle whorls. Next, this is very important slide. You have to mark these important slides because they will ask question mostly. They will ask mostly question on this only. Okay, the walls were made up of terracotta and fans. So what is fans and what is terracotta? Just a second. Okay, so the walls were made of terracotta. I have already told you, we have seen terracotta toys here. Okay, and what is fans? What is fans? I have written in the second one. It is a sand, quartz, and glazing. Okay, what is the meaning here? Actually, sand and quartz powder is mixed completely. Okay, and these are glued with the gum, and then these are glazed. Glazed means they are heated, and it forms into some substance called as fans. Okay, so these walls which I showed you, that a swirl is a round one which is used in knitting, etc. These walls are made up of fans. Okay, fans was also used to make beads, bangles, earrings, and tiny vessels. So fans is nothing but an artificially made artificially made sort of material. Okay, Harappans grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed, and mustard. Not so important, never they have asked, but you have to see that these could be a potential thing for them to be asked. Okay, the new tool, the plough. Plough was used to dig the land. You know plough, right? It is called as hal in Hindi. So most important thing here, we come to the most important one here. So copper was found in Rajasthan and Oman. So for doing copper things, they used to go to Rajasthan as well as Oman. Okay, they used to bring copper from Rajasthan and Oman. Then tin they used to bring from Afghanistan and they used to bring from Iran. Okay, you have to remember tin, Afghanistan, and Iran. Then gold they used to bring from South India, and that is Karnataka. Okay, so precious stones was brought from Gujarat as well as Iran and Afghanistan. So Iran and Afghanistan are having two important things. The first one is in Iran, Afghanistan, and also precious stone Iran, Afghanistan. Okay, so this is important because in NCRT also they have asked a question on this. Okay, so copper, copper from Rajasthan and Iran, gold from Karnataka, tin, tin and precious stones from again Gujarat plus Afghanistan plus Iran. Okay, I hope you will remember. We'll go to the next slide. So Dholavira is a very important site and it is in Gujarat. Okay, Dholavira is in Gujarat, and for what it is important, I have already told you that in some of the Harappan sites there were two parts. Okay, the citadel and the lower town. Citadel and lower town. Lower town. Okay. So, but here in Dholavira, it consisted of three parts. This is actually the most important thing here. Okay. Dholavira had three parts. Each part was surrounded by massive stone walls with entrances through the gateways, and there was public ceremony place. Okay. So nothing so important. Only important thing is these three parts. That every other place had only two parts, but only Dholavira had three parts. Okay. I hope that is clear. Other findings include large letter of Harappan script that were carved over white stone, perhaps in inlaid wood. This is not so important. Okay, leave it. This is a unique find, as generally Harappan writing has been found on small objects such as seal. So he is saying that this one, the other important thing that they have found at Harappan were large letters of Harappan script that were carved out of white stone. Okay, so if you want, you can remember. Normally, they will not ask, but in Dholavira, they have found Harappan script on white stone, which is not found elsewhere. Okay, but they have not asked it as of now. So this is important. Lothal stood beside the tributary of Sabarmati. Okay, in Gujarat. Gulf of Kambat is in Gujarat. Okay, so Lothal, I already told you, dockyard. You have to remember whenever Lothal comes, you have to remember that dockyard is present. See, I have told you, Lothal dockyard, goods were probably loaded and unloaded here. So in Lothal, there is also a factory site, okay, where they have seen that they were preparing beads. Factory site, or you can also say as workshop. Okay, okay. We'll go to the next slide. Seals and stamping. So one important thing I have already told you that it consisted of animals, and it also consisted of this script. Okay, so we don't know, nobody has read this script till now. Seals may be used to stamp bags or packet containing goods that were sent from one place to another sale. So seal, you know that if there is some bag like thing, if the seal is there, then it means it has reached safely. If the seal is broken, that means someone has taken out the things from this. Okay, after the bag was closed or tied, a layer of wet clay was applied on the knot and the seal was pressed on it. The impression of the seal is known as sealing. Not so important. So finally we come to the end. Okay, khatam. Why Indus Valley civilization actually disappeared? Actually, the reasons for which Indus Valley civilization got completely disappeared is we don't know. Okay, but what is there that some historians are giving theory that this could have happened. So they suggested that maybe the rivers would have dried up because they have established the what do you say, the civilization on the bank of river Indus, right? So it could be happened that this Indus could have changed its course. Okay, it happens that river always change the course because of the deposition. Okay, so it would have been flowing like this, all of the sudden it could have started flowing like this side. Okay, so it can be that this side river would have been dried up. The second one is the deforestation. This could have happened because fuel was required for baking bricks, because they were very good in metallurgy, so they used this forest produce as fuel. Okay, so it could be that deforestation would have occurred in wide scale. Okay. Third one is that they are also now doing agriculture activities. Okay, and they are also herding. So it could be that they might have the goats, the sheep might have eaten all the grass and they would have shifted. Okay, some areas there were floods. It could be that due to heavy rains that floods would have come. Okay, flooding or drying up would have been effect in only some areas, but he is saying that this could be not a plausible reason, because all the areas will not get floods, all the areas would not dry at a time. Okay, so this is important, that cotton cultivation happened 7,000 years. Cotton 7,000. Cities began at 4,700 years ago, and it started to end in 3,900 years ago, and new cities started emerging at 2,500 years ago. Normally in UPSC they will not ask this, but they can ask you by asking the chronology. Okay, so that is why it is very important. UPSC is very clever. It will not ask you the direct date, but if it can ask that, it can give that cultivation at Mehergarh, beginning of cities and emergence of new cities, and they can ask you the chronology. Then that would be a tedious task. Okay, so it's better you remember this. So let's go to the next one. Okay, finally we have questions. So these things I have already showed you. You can go back to the lecture and you can see, or if you want I'll just show you. Just wait a second. Here I've already told you that copper was from Rajasthan and Oman, tin was from Afghanistan, and gold was from Karnataka. So based on that, you can happily do that quiz which is given at the end. Okay, so you can see that gold is from Karnataka, and based on this you can do it easily. Okay, so before I conclude this chapter, I would like to tell you that please give a feedback on how you liked my lecture, and based on that we can see like what different subjects we can also bring. And please subscribe my channel, and you can like, share, and give it to your friends also if you think that my initiative is nice. Thank you so much.